Okay, in Ontario, there's a growing concern over what they call Khalistan terrorism. Now, basically, what's happening is there's people that are being called Sikh extremists feuding with Hindu nationalists. And it's kind of complicated, but it can be made to be fairly simple. So there's this hostility between Sikh separatists and Hindu nationalists. As you know, Narendra Modi, the current president of India, is a Hindu nationalist, and that's where a lot of this is actually coming from. Basically, what it is that people who are calling for Khalistan, which is like a homeland for Sikhs, have a freedom of speech here to call for it, talk about it, argue for it, etc., that doesn't exist in India. And people here, and the Hindu nationalists here, don't like it. And then as a result, there's hostility because of it. Now, officially, according to the government, uh, these Khalistani is considered a terrorist organization. And I think that label is absolutely wrong. And frankly, it unfairly criminalizes it. It's a colonialist mindset, considering how much Sikhs have actually protected other religions. In fact, they have done a lot to protect many religions, including Judaism, even more so than Iran has done. And Iran actually has a very long history of protecting religious minorities in its country. Even the Sikhs themselves say an infringement upon against one is an infringement against all. So to give you a little bit more understanding of why this stance against the Khalistanis is wrong, Hindu nationalism, uh, Hindu is a nation based on culture and religion, not ethnicity. There's no such thing as like an ethnic Hindu. It's like there's no such thing as an ethnic Christian or ethnic Muslim or ethnic Jew. There's just no such thing. It's a cultural religious group because there are wholly European Hindus, and I mean that in both the literal physical sense and in the sociological sense as well. Now, Hinduism is indigenous to India, but it transcends it. India is not the homeland of the Hindus, but it is the holy land of Dharma, and this is makes it the homeland of several religions. So this is not by any means something that exclusively belongs to the Hindus. And real Hindus would tell you that the idea that India belongs exclusively to the Hindus is absolutely wrong. Real actual Hinduism, the real actual religion in its own actual texts say that it recognizes all religions as equally valid. India is not India is a country, not a nation, because it is home to many ethnicities and religions, and they also have a right to be there. This Hindu nationalism doesn't make sense. Hinduism is not a nation. Yeah, it is a nation, but it's based on culture and religion, not ethnicity, and they have no exclusive right to the entirety of the country to be under their control. The phenomenon of Hindu nationalism is anti-Sikh. Think of it in the same way as whiteness is inherently racist, but not being white is racist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just having white skin doesn't make you racist, but believing in whiteness does. This is like the sort of the same thing that you have with the Hindu nationalism. It's really not real Hinduism. It's basically a political movement, much like Zionism. It's very much like Zionism in that regard, in that it's not a religious thing at all. It's actually a very persecutory political movement. Now, um, both of these groups, both Indian and Sikh, should have national cultural autonomy. There's no question that they're both entitled to that, absolutely, as many other with along with many other religions in what you would call cosmopolitanality, where basically all the religions are just doing their own thing, not bothering each other, and sometimes getting together and having lively debates, whatever. India is supposed to be a cosmopolitanity, but it's not with a Hindu nationalist running the country. Hindu nationalism is a contradiction to the Hindu nation. It basically contradicts itself. It's like the difference between Zionism and Judaism. One, Zionism is very clearly not Judaism. Hindus, like I said, in the Hindu religion, all other religions are considered equally valid, and every Sikh movement after Khalistan is considered to be fraudulent. Now, I want to be very, very careful when I say this. Khalistan is the belief that Sikhs can rebuild their homeland. It's like their national cultural autonomy place where they can be themselves, practice their cultural beliefs, etc. And they had it. The problem is the British took it away when they did the whole carving up of the subcontinent, etc. And that Khalistan was actually a multi-faith democracy. So it was like a democracy in the real, kind of like the Western sense, but it was also multi-religious, and these conflicts were not part of them. They were actually very much would be pan-religion, and they were very friendly to the Abrahamic faiths. They were not prejudiced against other religions at all. All religions were welcome to be a part of the democratic process. So that's what should be there. And Canada, unfairly criminalizes what is a struggle by Sikhs to practice their cultural autonomy, which is, very difficult to do considering a Hindu nationalist is running the country, which is why if you look at any Indian media, everything in Indian media is just everything terrorist right away. Like the same way Tamils are treated, like anything Tamil, like if you just say, oh yeah, I met a Tamil guy, he's pretty cool. Instantly it's like you're associated with a terrorist kind of thing. It was like exactly how Muslims were treated after 9/11, where if you just knew a Muslim guy, it's, oh, you're hanging out with the terrorist kind of bullshit kind of thing. And Canada, being a colonial state, is obviously just going right along with it, because essentially, in reality, Canada itself, as a political entity, really doesn't care about Khalistan at all. Basically, it just doesn't want to have to deal with any of the violence that's associated with it. The violent clashes that have been taking place between Khalistanis and Hindu nationalists is something, unfortunately, that we are going to have to basically put up with. That's the general idea of what this conflict is sort of about. So that way you get a better understanding when the news starts screaming about terrorism and stuff like that. You get a better sense of what's actually going on. Obviously, in Canadian society, I condemn all violence that's taking place between the two groups inside of Canada. This really, in my opinion, is a struggle that should be happening in India itself, but I believe that there is a freedom of speech issue here where Khalistanis should be able to make valid and legitimate political, cultural, and religious arguments for the continuation, the rebuilding of Khalistan. Now, of course, I had to word that very carefully because basically the pro-Khalistan movement is considered a terrorist entity in Canada, so I have to very clearly, very carefully walk the line so I don't accidentally say something that would be considered condoning terrorism, because you know how the police are with that, and they'll persecute people for anything. So that's the basic idea of what's going on with the Khalistani Sikh Hindu thing. So understand that context when reading news and looking for more information on this subject in general.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.